So we've all been to high school, right? If you haven't, you're going to. There's so many students coming in and out. Many have started to ask the question, is it important? Some people believe that a high school education is important because you need a high school diploma to get a high-paying job. However, most of these classes are not that important, such as English. I already speak the language, so there's no point on learning it. But there are some classes that you do in your everyday life, such as culinary arts and health. But I did ask a lot of students in different grade levels what they thought about high school, as well as some teachers, to get the teacher's perspective of a high school life.
Mr. Valadez, I do think that high school is important because it kind of sets you for life and you learn skills that you're going to use later on in life after graduation, whether you go to college or go to school or start a family or the military. I think the social skills, the abilities that you learn, researching and all that stuff, students might think it's not important. But once you get out of here, and if you don't take these skills seriously, if you don't learn these things in the real world, someone's not going to have mercy on you. And that's why high school is important because of those things.
I think a high school education should be free because like parents are struggling with like money and kids like they need their education and all that to like learn like about the real world and everything.
I do really believe that high school education should be free because it all depends on what state you live in. For example, Arizona, a lot of immigrant people live here in the state of Arizona, especially in the Phoenix area valley, which a lot of schools might be private and maybe the government don't really help us, the people that are always trying to seek for help, especially because our illegal status affect us in our own country as well here in America. So I do really believe high school education should be free.
Because people are gonna look at you like you can't accomplish something that's like simple. Or in our eyes, it's not that simple yet. Or as a senior, it's a little more simpler because I don't have that much classes, so it's easier, you know. But people are gonna look at you like you couldn't do that, you know. So why should you work here, you know? Like you're worthless or something. Like, but then that little piece of paper just means like, oh, I mean something, you know, like I did it, you know, and accomplished something. In some people's eyes, it means a lot, you know. Has high school ever got me tired? Yes, because all of the work and it's like stressful and like needing good grades to prove something to your parents, and it's like always the pressure and having to always have it done. But it honestly, it mentally disciplines you. Like you're always trying to challenge yourself to, you know, have good grades, you know. So it's not always a bad thing to push yourself, you know. So obviously you're gonna get tired because you're pushing yourself, but it's not always bad, you know.
Um, Probably yes. Well, particularly yeah, because mostly for example, I play music, and most of it where I come from, like all our family members play music, and basically, I think it is really important to use high school as the outside world example on your life. That might help you in a right future where you can make a lot of money.
It helps with a lot more things than a lot of students realize. So if you don't get a high school diploma, you then have to get a GED. GEDs are not only harder, but they don't count as much. So yes, it does help you in the long run if you need to go get another, like if you want to end up going to college, you decide in the long run you want to go to college or you want to get a higher paying job. A GED is useful, but it's better to have a high school diploma. Plus, if you have a high school diploma, you don't have to go get a GED, but then also you aren't under as much pressure because then you can just go get a job. Like most jobs will accept a high school diploma. Yeah, it's important for students to get a high school diploma. Plus, I mean, who wants to date someone who didn't graduate high school? Put your hands down.
Probably yes. Well, particularly yeah, because mostly for example, I play music, and most of it where I come from, like all our family members play music, and basically, I think it is really important to use high school as the outside world example on your life. That might help you in a right future where you can make a lot of money. It depends on how you see the real world.
To be honest, I never really considered dropping out of high school. My mom and my dad, they're from like another country, so you know it's pretty hard to like see them like live the life they're living right now. They've crossed the border, they do so many stuff to get me to this point where they go to school. Obviously I don't need a diploma to go or like make a good amount of money, I guess. But at the end of the day, they crossed the border, they got their hands dirty so I can make money and keep mine clean, so I can take care of my family. I don't see, obviously, like, I see a purpose. Like, you might think school gets tough or something, and it just gets stressful, your mental health and everything. But at the end of the day, it just keeps me motivated to, like, to not do it. Because I think back at my parents and their situation. I have a brother who's also struggling right now, so it's hard, you know? It's hard. It's not easy.
Answer, yes. Why? Because the belief of having a bunch of assignments thrown at you in a short amount of time, it can be stressing. So that'll be it. Because if you're feeling too much anxious, it can build stress, and with stress, it can build depression. Basically, it's a domino effect. You know that, right? And well, that's gonna happen to me during senior year. So good luck.
I feel like it can because a lot of the times, like, a lot of kids don't know how to deal with stress, and a lot of times it becomes a lot because they feel like they can't, like, they need to get A's, you know what I'm saying? They feel like they need to graduate, they feel like they need to, like, excel or do good and stuff because they feel like if they do bad, it's all ruined. They feel like they have no one to talk to because if something goes wrong, they feel like everything's just done. I feel like a lot of times that pushes people to the edge and it gets really hard for people. I have friends that's happening. I have a friend, she had a deep ass scar, bro. Like, that shit went all the way in right there. And it's just crazy. I'm not gonna get in deep, but yeah, I do. And it gets hard. I've seen people, they drop out, like, they wanna kill themselves. I've met people that do that stuff. It sucks.